Hello, people. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day / night / morning. Depending upon what time it is. Welcome back to another chapter. Welcome back to another midnight recording session. It's currently 12:18. So let's see how many chapters I'm doing this morning. So I'm gonna give you some melatonin. I have some. I just hate using it. But yeah. This chapter might be a little quiet just because I don't know if my parents are still awake. I mean, it is still kind of early, you know. But yeah, anyways, I don't have anything else, so let's get into it. Mastermind Rise of Anarchy. Written by Clouds. My head in the clouds, not coming down. Read by the MHA. Chapter 31. Statement. Summary. True wars are fought in the hearts and minds of people. When Aizawa shot him a look after the final bell, Hitoshi swallowed nervously and immediately started packing up a little slower so he'd be the last student to leave. It took a few minutes, but no one really sat and socialized after class anymore, so it didn't take as long as it could have for various tight-knit groups to filter out and head towards the dorms. Hitoshi shoved the last of his papers inside and shouldered his bag as he headed towards the front of the room, where Aizawa was waiting for him. "You wanted to see me?" Aizawa nodded. "Monoma is taking Eri to the All-Might Museum this afternoon." "That's gonna make a splash," Hitoshi whistled. "But why are you telling me this? Eri obviously is the babysitter." "I want you to tag along," Aizawa ordered. Something about Monoma rubs me the wrong way." Hitoshi raised an eyebrow. "You mean like his personality?" "It's just a start." Aizawa snorted. "Be nice." "Him first." Hitoshi rolled his eyes. "But seriously, he's just annoying. I don't think there's anything off about him." "He was close with Tokoyami," Aizawa said. "Association isn't enough to say he's going to be a villain," Hitoshi spat. "You know that." "I do." Aizawa nodded seriously. "But I also know by the time his classmates turned on him, Tokoyami had already been primed to run to the league. He's been having those thoughts for a long time, and Monoma must have noticed. But that didn't add up. But he didn't say anything after Tokoyami officially defected, so it doesn't add up. He could just be being a good friend," Toshi pointed out. "It's a possibility," Aizawa shrugged. "But a large portion of the underground heroics is information gathering. You can't afford to make the decision off of incomplete information like your classmates did. Plus, this will give you the chance to see what being a bodyguard for Eri would be like and will help you make up your mind." Hitoshi frowned for a moment, then nodded. "What time are we leaving?" Aizawa gave his signature creepy grin. "I'll have Eri meet you at the gates in an hour. Good luck." Looks interesting." Oyama slammed the sketchbook closed as fast as he could and whipped his head around, only relaxing slightly when he realized it was just a designer. "It's nothing, Leon. No need to worry, Monoma." Leon frowned knowingly. "Those sketches didn't seem like nothing. Let me see." Oyama handed over the sketchbook and twiddled his fingers nervously as the designer looked over his humble sketches. The outfits he'd sketched weren't much more embarrassment than anything else, and he didn't want Leon to feel objected to praise them. He had already done so much to help Oyama get on his feet as a model, just by recruiting him to be the face of his villain line, which taken off beyond their wildest experience, so he couldn't reasonably ask for anything more, hence why he'd been trying to hide the sketchbook. Oyama couldn't read Leon's expression as he slowly leafed through the page, but after a long minute he let out a pleasured hum. "Well, this is spectacular! These designs, creativity. I assume you drew inspirations from the last line?" "Oi!" Oyama answered quickly. "I put a bit of a different spin on it, but I noticed that." Leon pointed to one of the sketches. "You're incorporating the elements from the famous hero and villains in the same outfits. Is that right? Oyama nodded. When Eri-chan put out the video, it made me think. Yes? I only know heroes, but it may be true. We're not great people, so if something is not all heroes or villains, well then, that seems to be a bit of both. Leon's eyes widened. You're inspired by the video with that cute girl? I suppose that explains the use of bright colors. My goal was to incorporate through the elements into each outfit and make them recognizable, but when play with the elements and combine them, Liam explained, flipping to a sketch where he had made one to the appearance of Tokoyami's infamous coats, but it specified it to make out by creating a daemon as a homepage to Best Units. This jacket could be either a dark or light blue, but the line will be more memorable if we make it a statement. No, what better way to do so than adding as much color as possible? There's nothing the line wouldn't be black and white, because there's nothing representing truly either. It's a combination of color and ideals. Spectacular. Leon grinned and got out his pencils. It needs fine tuning, obviously, and I won't need the last 50 permanent sketches by the end of the week, but your idea is current and we don't want to miss the boat. So welcome to the world of designing. Oyama grabbed his sketchbook quickly as Leon said, "Are you sure? Your ideas are good and will make the buyers remember us and empty their wallets." Leon winked. "Don't make me regret it." Oyama smiled brightly as he practically sparkled. "Don't worry, Monomai. I will not let you down." Eri ran on ahead, dragging Monoma by the hand as she explored the different exhibits. Hitoshi followed along, a few steps behind, silently practicing what Aizawa had taught him about the whole situational awareness. He had started by just paying attention to where the exits were, which was enough of a challenge when some of the rooms were almost like mazes, but after he'd encountered no less than 3 people who did double tasks as soon as they recognized Eri, he started keeping an eye out for threats as well. So far, it was mostly just civilians trying to subtly take photos, but Eri was trying to be seen and make a statement by being there, so he wasn't worried about them. There'd been a couple men who had given him more paparazzi vibes than curious civilians, though he'd separately studied the exhibits, so that would make him stand directly between Eri and the camera. The guys questioned quickly got frustrated and moved on, which made Hitoshi smile. Mission accomplished. Eri seemed to be having a good time, which was good, but Monoma seemed a little more himself than usual. Hitoshi had no idea what he possibly could be so smug about, but he was walking through exhibits with the same attitude that he was when he walked through the halls by UA classroom. Did he somehow think he was superior to All Might? He'd known that Monoma had a bit of an inferior complex, but if he really thought he could candle to All Might, then it was worse than Hitoshi thought. As long as he kept it to himself, though, Hitoshi wasn't going to mention it. The last thing he wanted was to ruin Eri's outgoing by offsetting Monoma on a rant against 1A. They were passing the section of the museum dedicated to the USJ attack when one of the visitors caught Hitoshi's attention. She had a press badge, and if that hadn't been enough for Hitoshi to immediately peg her as a reporter, the voice recorder she was trying to hide in her left hand would have been a dead giveaway. She hadn't noticed Hitoshi yet, but that made sense considering she only had eyes for Eri. As soon as Eri turned away from the plaque she was looking at, the reporter lady immediately made a move, her ponytail swinging as she made her beeline towards her goal. Hitoshi cleared her throat, and Eri gave him a questioning glance, so he nodded towards the reporter. For a half-second, Eri looked terrified, and Hitoshi wondered if he could have stepped in and brainwashed the reporter into leaving them alone. But then she got a brave look on her face and turned around to smile. "Hello." The reporter stopped short, not expecting her prey to see her first. Hello, I'm sorry to bother you, but are you Eri? Monoma tugged at Eri's hand. We don't want anything to do with the news, just Buzz. He trailed off as Hitoshi grabbed his arm. Let's go take a look at that statue, he insisted softly. This is what Eri wants, so let's just see where it goes, okay? Monoma shook off Hitoshi's hand, and he couldn't help but notice that he didn't respond verbally, even if he did let go of Eri and stalk off towards a few feet away. He didn't trust him, but Hitoshi was used to that, so it didn't sting much. It was, however, yet another tally towards Aizawa's suspicion, so he had to keep an eye on him. Eri gave Hitoshi a nod before turning back to reporter. Yep, I'm Eri. What's your name? The reporter gave a little gasp and clutched her heart. Oh, you're just adorable, aren't you? My name is Hina Yu. I'm a reporter. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you too, Miss Wu, Eri said politely. Did you want to ask me a question? If that's okay, you said. I didn't want to impose. It's no problem, Eri said. Are you curious about why I'm here? You nodded. Is the rumor about Mastermind saved your life? It seems so odd that you would visit a museum dedicated to one of the heroes he killed. Eri thought a long moment before answering. I never met All Might. I wasn't saved until after he died. But he did a lot of good things, and I want to learn more about him. And what have you learned? You prompted. Eri giggled. I think he was too good at his job. Too good? You echoed her laughter. How could you be too good at saving people? He never let people see him when he was sad, Eri said. He built a lot of walls to keep people out, but those walls got too big for him. If a hero was never sad, then it makes people think heroes have to be perfect and they don't know when a good hero is sad or mad or bad or anything. All Might was just too good at being a hero sometimes and forgot to be human too. The reporter's jaw dropped, and Hitoshi allowed himself almost an invisible proud smile as Eri left Miss Yu speechless. He'd have to put in a good fight with Aizawa and see if he can get her a candy apple or something to celebrate her first successful interview. All Might thought he had to be happy all the time to be a good hero, but I think people would have liked seeing the other side of him too. Eri smiled sadly and turned to Monoma. Come on, I want to see the gift shop. Can I have a toy? Monoma shook himself out of his own shock and nodded. Of course, let's go, Eri. The reporter had recovered from her shock by that point and took a few steps towards to grip Eri's arm as she walked away, but Hitoshi stepped in front of her before she could touch Eri. How are you enjoying the museum? Just fine, she smiled and tried to shove past him. Now, if you'll excuse me. Hitoshi took control, grateful of all of those laws about public work that had been overturned. Eri is done and your interview is over. Walk away. He watched in satisfaction as she obeyed his instructions and hurried towards the gift shop to see Eri at the various plushies that they offered. She lit up when they came in. Did the reporter lady leave? I took care of it, Hitoshi smiled. Now, what toy do you think you're gonna pick? Eri's interview. She's too young. She's too precious. It's just no, poor Eri. And that poor Eri, like she's doing so well. For what, a 7-year-old? She's giving speeches I can never dream of giving. I'm jealous that a 7-year-old knows more about hero politics than I know about any other kind of politics. But yeah, that was a chapter. I know Monoma's section. I was just reading words I wasn't comprehending. I don't know if that traveled to the recording or in my voice. If it was bad, please let me know. What was that? Meh. Yeah, I know I had to switch sides of my bed halfway through because I'm like laying down right now. If you heard my heater going off, I'm sorry about whatever background noises. I know my headphones pick up on a lot of small things, but then don't pick up on the big loud noises. Well, I have no idea. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next chapter. Hee hee.